I am Uncle Yash, Take Aim Tree Service. I had dreams, life kicking me in the guts, and here we are cutting trees down. Anyways, it's a long story. We're insured. So I'm with Uncle Ben, we got Kevin the cameraman, and we are in Connecticut. So these are the trees. We have some that are already leaning in the right direction. We have this one here that is over the house. So we're gonna have to pull that away. We might do a little bit of climbing just to keep branches from poking in the neighbor's yard. He's actually being nice to the homeowners because otherwise we'd have to charge them way more if we had to bring a crane in or whatever. Mostly flop the trees. We have a garden fence we gotta be careful of. We have no septic we have to worry about as far as I know. So the main thing is not crashing anything on their house. So we'll see how it goes. I get in my truck, I start it, I let it warm up, I put it in drive, it goes nowhere. And I'm like, what? So I'm like, it must be in neutral. And make a long story short, somebody stole my drive shaft off my truck. So now I have that complex that somebody's gonna steal from me. So I always lock my truck, even if I'm right next to it. You can't make this up.
See this?
I couldn't get grass to pour out the other day from that hole. That's awesome, dude. I spilled my seed. All right. We burned wood since I was a kid. My dad, he had a good job, so he would cut trees down for people just for firewood, just to help them out, and like people that from his work or from church, just to be a blessing. And then my mother did not like it because she would look up and my dad would send me up a tree with a rope with no safety equipment, just a monkey up there and tie a rope on. And that's how we got started cutting trees. I had no idea people paid to have their trees cut down. So like an idiot, I would cut trees down for free or for the firewood myself with no insurance, trees hanging over people's houses. It was awesome. All right, so I don't know the legality of the world of YouTubing, so I'm just gonna have a disclaimer. We're gonna write a disclaimer song. Ben's a really good musician. He's got the voice of an angel. Seriously though, there's more than one way to cut a tree. We're trying to be as safe as possible. You're gonna critique us, you're gonna rank on us. It's gonna be awesome. I love that kind of stuff. So feel free, but if you do something by watching us and you screw up, it's on you, buddy. All right, so. They're a messy tree, they're beautiful, obviously for furniture. And the cool thing about this job is we're gonna show us taking the trees down. Then another time we'll have old Kev over. We got a little portable mill and we'll show us sawing this stuff into some cool stuff, some furniture. And I'll throw it down and then you could just tie on that pulling rope. That was awesome. I'm gonna pull this. We could do some stuff with the machine. So we'll do you got your goggles, ear muffs. We'll do we'll suck it in. You could stop it. We make eye contact. If we load it with a machine, I could hop out. We could cut crotches or whatever. like vanilla and chocolate from that the walnut. Beautiful wood. The 372, it's actually my favorite saw, but it's a newer 372 with all the emissions garbage and they're horrible. You got to be careful in a lot of the New England states because all the farming that went on, there's a lot of fences and stuff. Where I grew up, all the Italians put concrete and bricks in all the holes in the cavity of the tree thinking that's going to help. So we destroy a lot of bars, but we'll go low just in case there's some fencing. We've been saving these, Kev, for timber framing. So you get a double tenon. That could be a timber frame with a double tenon, which is super cool. Up the area so we won't be tripping over stuff, driving over stuff. Gonna get Uncle Ben in here. Kind of a good way to break him in quick on pulling the trees over. He's never run this machine before, so what could go wrong? You want to check out a cool documentary on gardening, there's called Back to Eden. There's a whole bunch of people doing it now. It's just wood chips for your future topsoil. I'm gonna grab I got a pair of the Kevlar shaps.
Yep.
I'm just gonna put it so nothing's on the sharp blade. Sure. And all you're gonna have to go is forward and back.
Each track is
yeah, you just use them together. Okay. It's just like a tank.
Oh, okay. I'm familiar with tanks.
Yeah. We don't want to pull it so tight where you're like a bow and arrow and I start the back cut and the thing explodes in my face.
Right.
Because people do that, they panic. Somebody almost killed me one time because they were pushing with an excavator so hard because he was so nervous because he's never done it. Your head is the most important thing for safety. You could have all the gear on. A lot of times this stuff will get caught with brush going through a chipper and suck you through it. You could grab a glove and suck you through, a loose t-shirt, anything. So that's why you see us a lot of times on the handle on the chipper. So use these if you need to. I do. There are times I use them when I'm on wood piles, which is why I had this. This thing was bowed and sticking out like 2-3 inches. My chain was still going. It never would have hit my leg, but it hit that because these things stick out so far. But what I'm going to use them for, a lot of times if I put a chain or a pulley around a tree, we'll use these so the chain won't dig into the tree, but I'm going to do it around this. The blade doesn't cut the rope. So, yeah, she's just starting to tighten up. Keep going. But you can start to gauge. If it starts to sound like the high E string on a guitar, you might want to back off a little bit. We're gonna finally cut down a tree. So this is about an 85-foot black walnut. It's probably 2 feet in diameter. When you go to cut a tree, make sure you have a clear area to maneuver out of the way. So if something goes wrong, it's tree work. Once you commit to certain cuts, gravity, physics take over. Usually when a guy gets hurt, it's not because he did one thing wrong. It's usually not because he did 2 things wrong. It's usually at least 3. So doing something stupid. So just moving this fence out of the way. I got so many people I know that got hurt or know of. Even a goofy little piece of bark like this. That log is good because I could run this way. But I got wedges. I always have some wedges for backup, the plastic ones, because I can hit them with a saw and it won't destroy the teeth. So that way if you ever have a rope snap, the tree won't rock back and pop on its hinge wood. This would go over without a rope, but there's a house. We don't want anything stupid to happen. I might have to just adjust that cut. I'm just gonna have him pull back a little. Everybody alive? I hope you saw me trip. That log is good because I could run this way. Sometimes Sometimes I would hog that out before we cut and leave these so you're holding wood, so your tree can't go left or right, because that's what steers it as it comes down. But at that last second, I just sank the saw in, just so we don't get any pulls of fiber. You'll pull out, you'll lose some board footage when you go to mill. And depending on if there's like a lean, if you got a big lean that way, you could stick your wedge here, and that'll actually pick the tree up and make it go more where you want to. But if you have, so picture the tree's butt sitting on there. Obviously, if the tree starts to go over, this is going to drop. So instead of having to look up and take your eyes off, you can glance at this. And then you know the tree's going in the right direction. If it starts to tighten, then you know the wind or something's blowing it back. Because I've had, you know, branches snap if it's around, and you're cutting, and all of a sudden the whole tree shakes. And you look at your buddy in the machine or the truck, his eyes are this big. The tree's coming back, sits back on the wedge, which prevents any like leverage to snap the holding wood. Because there's so many factors with species of wood, wind direction, lean of the tree, how the temperature is. If it's super cold and you're cutting pine down, pines will just snap. So, I like getting at least 8 to 10s because it's comfortable for the machine to pick up. I have a lot of real long walnut already at the house, like 20 footers that had a log truck bring. A lot of it depends on what kind of machinery you have to pick up, access. Here we're on the neighbors, we don't want to destroy the neighbor's lawn, so we're going to do as little impact as possible. The chips are going to stay on site. Bend, muscly arms will pull this tree over no problem, but we're gonna just do some pulleys just because we can, and sometimes you're better off. So basically that just sits right there. You come around, and then all you do is you just do some hitches or half hitches, whatever. You just keep, and basically it's a friction. So as you pull, that's gonna tighten. Super simple. I love simple. This is my coral snake, I call it, but I think it's called the come along knot. So, but if you just go like this, you'll see it's like, you'll see that that'll lock up on each other. And your rope true, and then you can pull like that. So now you got a pulley down there. You got this here, you got friction, but because we got this fancy schmancy thing, that way bend gets a little more, it's a little smoother for him. You can put that pulley on that come along knot. So then obviously you got a nice run. And one of the cool things too is like, if something gets hung up or it's going kind of the wrong direction, you can always pull this way. You can pull the other way, but that tree might get hung up a little bit in there, Ben. You know, we never do the wrapping around the hands thing. He did something so stupid. The tree went the other way, broke his arm.
Yeah.
So at least here you have a knot. You can grab this if you want it. But I mean, look at how much, I don't understand physics. All I know is 2 to 1, I think is better than just pulling straight. So, I mean, look how much that thing's bending over. A steady pull, don't ever do jerk motions. Just a constant steady, and she's gonna come right over. Okay. Could get in here with the machine. Shove these over, but I'll probably put ropes. This one, I'm probably gonna just send it right where that one went. There's a throw line. So I'm gonna try and throw this string up there to tie that rope onto. Yeah, it's like a bean bag. They got different ounce ones. You kind of just whip it up there. I've done some, dude, where you like, it was divine intervention to get it through holes and through branches. And it was, you know, then I've done like the simplest crotch. It's 50 feet up or 30 feet. I can't even hit it. And it's the size of a goalpost in a football field. And then too, when you got to pull it through, if it goes in the wrong crotch, then you got to worry about it smacking the windows or. Nope. So that's going to go through that crotch. See how this tree's got back weight? I like getting it on that branch. So you know what? I'll make that work. I'm one of the goofballs that doesn't take the ball off and then I complain, but that crotch should be easy. So this is what a butt tie is. You just basically tie it to the butt. So a lot of times I'll do this. Because it's going through crotches, you could do a running bowling, but it won't go up high enough. It'll actually be lower. But like if I have like a dead tree, this rope could actually act as a spine. Or if a branch snaps and it goes into another crotch, you still got it tied. So this is, you're basically just tying it to the butt. So this does have some lean towards that barn. So I'm gonna leave a lot of holding wood. When you pull, you know, this might snap some branches like that. Awesome. You know, perfect. I've had a tree like this that wouldn't fall over. It had something like that where it was going through the crotch, but then it had a little kicker and it literally sucked that tree right and it tickled the entire house. So now when you pull with that bowling, it's gonna center the pull and you're not gonna have that pressure going towards that. Nice. So like, I don't know how to, you know.
There you go.
So yeah, we'll just see how that's gonna go in there. Run right up there. Timber hitch again. It's got a spring.
Oh, does it?
Yep, and you can do this.
Last time you run the whole line through, did you?
So I'll put timber in the dump truck so it doesn't lick you the entire time. Even an idiot like me can do this, so watch. 1, 2, right? So you got, that's all it is. Watch this, dude. 1, 2, tree. It's like a braid. So you just dress it up. And that is a breakaway knot, just like all those other. It's so awesome. So this is a hook. We have a hook here, but that's the side it comes off. So obviously you want the complete opposite hook. No kids. Go. Perfect. Nice. Last second I did that little cutting So that'll let that tree start to go, but this holding wood over here will keep it pinned to keep it from going towards the street, falling on the wood chipper, and that holds it a little bit longer. Then when I knew it cleared the cedar, we just cut it.
Thank you.